And then, well, I guess let me ask if you feel like you weren't doing much when you were grinding melee a lot. I feel like something that happens for me is because I don't have much going on outside of melee. I put so much more weight onto how I do in melee because it's like that's the thing for me right now. And
Oh,
I
I
think,
absolutely relate to that. My God.
yeah,
No, keep
it's
going
like
though.
not good for me. And I think like literally just when I go to like community college, it's gonna like help my mental a lot. So I'm not too stressed about it in the immediate moment. Because
Good.
I do think a lot of it just comes from like the fact that I care too much because it's like my main hobby and I'm not like doing anything professionally. So like it just really is easy to put all your weight and self-worth onto how you do and the one thing you like to do the most.
Let me ask you. No, absolutely. I would agree with that 1,000%. Let me ask you though. Are there any other hobbies that you like doing at all that you would like consider putting like maybe not neglect?
Yeah, I played saxophone for a while and then I had to sell mine and I just haven't been able to get back on it because they cost like $3,000. But I'm looking to see if I can like talk to my parents about getting like a cheaper one and I've been wanting to get back into that because I feel like music's a really good hobby that scratches the same itch for me of like technical ability while not being able to compare myself to anyone else and being able to play entirely for self-improvement. I think like especially with how the melee community as a community is like it's like just super hyper competitive.
Yeah.
And I think it's like kind of bad for a lot of people who play in it, honestly. I have issues with the community at times, I guess, but it's just like it's really easy to get lost in the sauce when there's like PRs everywhere and rankings and everyone's talking about results and just caring too much because of that too.
Absolutely. The other thing that I would say is, I don't know how well this would work if you're zoning out, but and again, I don't know like the ins and outs of your condition. So if this is a bad suggestion, my bad. Like use your
Oh,
judgment.
no worries. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about like something that I found with me with addiction was cooking, like just making food.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's something you can be creative with. It's something that does lend itself to experimentation, which is pretty cool. And you can also kind of see and appreciate the end result. And as long as you don't mind, like wasting a couple of dollars here and there, having to throw out some eggs that didn't turn out right. Yeah, like it tends to be pretty easy to make it cost effective, and yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that'd be a really holistic hobby, honestly. It's also just something that's necessary for like living, especially
Yeah,
affordably. Like
it's
I
huge.
I think yeah, I'll try it out actually. I've been thinking about it regardless, and I have a lot of friends who are into cooking, and I've been like asking them questions, but I haven't really made an effort to seriously get into it. But I think that's worth a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want, I can send you some videos and channels to help you get started. Because like, there's a lot of accessible ones that I follow, because they're the ones
Okay.
they're left over from when I was learning this a long time ago and stuff like that. And then I usually just like prune and update as I go along. But yeah, I think that the idea of expanding your like it's something I talked about with Meds when I interviewed him about his like Genesis run. Because a lot of times we talk about like not having the same amount of time to put into the game in your 30s and such as being like a big detriment, but something that he pointed out was that he actually thinks it's a source of strength because not all his eggs are in one basket. So if he doesn't perform, like there's no pressure. Like if he doesn't perform, then he's still
Mhm.
got his wife, he's still got his kids, he's still got his job, like he's still got his family, his friends waiting at home. Like everything is still like fine. It just
Yeah.
means that he didn't play as well as he could have, and that's disappointing. But life goes on because there's all these other sources of fulfillment. So I think that like expanding your life so that there's more sources of fulfillment, I think that could be a really healthy step.
Yeah, I think so too. Thank you. Um,
No problem.
yeah,
This is a very different direction than how my coaching sessions usually go, but honestly,
that's fair.
this is actually super sick. I'm really enjoying this. How about you?
Yeah, I am for sure. I think this is good because like all of this does also just feedback in the mental and like performance. It makes sense, like for
Yeah.
sure. And I'm appreciating it. Thank you.
No problem. Like I said, I look forward to these, so it's all good. So
Right.
let me ask you, Smash wise, you mentioned that it's like tough to like grapple with the fact that people are improving, are improving at a faster rate than you. what I'm curious to know is how do you know that they're improving at a faster rate than you? Like, this is the first time that this guy has beaten you in a while, right?
Oh yeah. Um,
So, like, does one set mean that they're better than you?
no. I think that there are people who definitely like over a trend have like improved faster than me. I don't think he's better than me, honestly. I just think that like I guess it's like yeah, in that situation I guess it's more just like damn, I did not play like anywhere near as well as I know I could have. At the same time, it was completely irrational though, because it was like a bar tournament. I was like 6 drinks on.
Okay.
Um,
No, keep going.
like
I'm just making
yeah,
notes.
it's like it just doesn't make any sense to care in an environment like that, which is why I was frustrated with myself for, I guess, getting angry over the initial result, and then that frustration turned into where the bad mentality was coming from.
Okay. So I'm normally not like a fan of like just bringing of like playing TikToks or something during these kinds of like discussions because there's a lot of bad mental health advice out there when it comes
Yeah,
on TikTok. But how would you feel about if I sent you one or posted one in the chat? Would you be open to taking a look at it?
yeah, sure.
Sure. Let me just grab it because um, which ones? So let's do how to feel your feelings. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, 1 second. Oh wait, no, 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 no. We're not in that app. I guess it would be copy link. Cool. And then I will send it here. It's on my phone, so I'm just having to post it through here because I'm not very good at technology. But let me know when you receive it. Can you see it in the chat?
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's take a look. Let's take a quick look at this. I'll play it on my end, but I won't stream it so we don't have audio problems.
Yeah.
Today I'm going to teach you a skill that you should have been taught when you were a child but probably weren't, how to feel your feeling. First, notice the feeling. Take a deep breath in to center yourself and then turn inward and ask, what feelings am I experiencing right now? Pay attention to any physical sensations that you might be experiencing, like a tight chest or sweaty palms or jittery legs. Second, name the feeling. Studies have found that putting them into words really helps you to manage them. If you don't know if you can only describe it as good or bad, use a feelings wheel to help you narrow down on the specific emotion that you're feeling. Describe it out loud with a phrase like, I'm experiencing disappointment right now. Third, accept the feeling. Growing up, many of us were taught to hide or suppress our emotions, so your first instinct might be to push this emotion away. Suppressing our emotions can have negative consequences for both our physical and mental health, so I want you to accept it instead. Say to yourself, I accept that I'm feeling disappointed right now. Be with the feeling. Researchers have found that the physiological experience of an emotion lasts for about 90 seconds. Can you stay with this feeling for 90 seconds? As you stay with it, you will notice that it starts to change to morph into something else. That is a sign that you allowed yourself to fully experience it. Take a moment to offer kindness to yourself for what you just experienced. You can put your hand on your heart and say something like, I'm here for you. With a bit of distance from the emotion, you can now
So I'm
reflect
at
on
about
it
a
and
minute
identify
and
the wisdom that
5.
carries within it. You might want to
Yeah,
ask
I'm at a
yourself what
minute
else led to that feeling.
15.
How did my
Cool.
past experiences contribute to this emotion? What is this
So you'll
feeling
be done
mean
10
for
seconds
how
before
my
me.
needs are being
Yeah.
met? Finally, you can decide how you want to respond because you're a human being who experiences
Alright, I'm
emotions, but
done.
you're also a human being who
Okay.
has the power to
Perfect.
respond to them with wisdom.
So I'll let this run so the people in the audience can see it when this
Right.
gets uploaded. But yeah, I just want to ask you openly. After like when you're experiencing the frustration, I guess, at at losing to this person in that context, um, do you ever just accept it, or do you find yourself fighting back against the feeling a lot?
Um, I definitely fight back against it a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And what happens usually?
It'll just spiral, like, for sure. Like, it'll either morph into a different negative emotion or just, like, get worse and worse.
Right,
Like,
because
yeah.
yeah, so like what would be an example of a negative emotion it morphs into? Like how does it grow?
It can turn from, like, uh, anger into, like, disappointment or, like, just sadness, I guess. Is usually it goes from like a anger adjacent emotion to a more like sad related one. Usually.
That makes sense. There's there's like a phrase that I've heard in a lot of recovery programs, and like just in dealing with emotional regulation in general. Anger is sad's bodyguard. Because usually anger comes about from sadness or disappointment or some other like sad aligned emotion not being able to like safely or effectively express itself. So anger comes out because anger's perk. The reason we have, like, in my opinion, the reason we have it, like, it's adaptive because it directs the energy outwards. It gives us a way to like push it kind of onto other people. Or other targets, and that's kind of like the role it fulfills. So anger usually comes about if like feeling sad or disappointed. Like if we're trying to not feel sad, anger is usually the like what comes out. But then if that doesn't work, then it sometimes goes back to sad. Except it gets stronger, kind of, because the problem with us pushing it away is I think, and I don't know if this is congruent with your experience, but I find with me, when I push it all aside, what it does is it feels like the emotion knows it's that I'm not letting myself feel it, so then it just gets more upset, and then it gets bigger because of that. It's kind of like I pushed it to the side, being like, "Go away! I don't want to deal with you right now." And then it's like, "Now you're not listening to me." It's like,
yeah, no, I feel that, yeah.
So this approach is a little different because what are you? Let me ask you, what are you feeling right now?
Just like in the current moment.
Yeah.
It's pretty neutral. I guess like I've been entertained so far by this conversation, so just like entertained, like positive feelings mostly.
So like engaged?
Yeah, engaged.
Okay. And upon saying that you're engaged, like what happens to that feeling? Like does it change? Does it like morph? Because it's okay if it morphs into a different feeling. It's just we're tracking it. We're like following it along, kind of.
Yeah. I guess in the like just a content feeling.
Nice. Yeah, because engaged to content, I would say that's like a bit of an upswing, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of times, that's kind of what happens when we allow ourselves to feel our frustration or disappointment. I find a lot of times that it just returns to neutral. In the same way that like we've gone from neutral to like slightly positive, it kind of like starts to make its way back towards neutral from negative if we allow ourselves to acknowledge what's going on, feel it, and move on from it.
Right.
Yeah, like have you ever dealt with like a setback, like you burned something when you're making food or whatever, and then you're just like, well, like, because we kind of have two reactions, I think, usually, like two base reactions in that. Like we get upset, or we say, okay, I'm upset, but this happened. It's not the end of the world. Let's just go to this pizza place across the street and get a pizza. And in that situation, once we kind of resign to the fact that this has happened and accept we're just gonna like get pizza or whatever, or make it again, if we need to do that. Like I find that it kind of starts to head back to neutral from that point, right?
Right.
Yeah. Whereas if we kind of throw a fit and try to like not encounter that we're disappointed or like that we're upset, if we get like upset about it instead and try to like avoid feeling our disappointment, instead what it does is it just gets like bigger and bigger, and then we just kind of like a lot of times we just go to bed hungry because we don't actually wind up making food or getting anything. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but that's definitely been me in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So I guess this tournament, the one on Saturday, it's a big tournament, right? Like you're excited to go?
Yeah, it's pretty big. I'm excited for sure.
Can I count on you? Do you think that you'd be able to confront your feelings like this? Maybe not spend the full 90 seconds with them, because matches are faster than that. But do you think that you'd be able to acknowledge your feelings of disappointment while they're happening in a match? When they arise, so that you can kind of like deal with them and move on.
Okay. I can try for sure.
Perfect. Let's boot up some ranked, and that will be what we work on today.
Gotcha.
So what I want to we're gonna break this down into a game plan. So you're gonna get the instructions before we load everything up. So don't worry, not gonna leave you in the dark. But here's my challenge for you. When you notice a feeling happening, positive or negative, I want you to just say what it is during the match. So you don't have to do anything with it. I just in this first set or two, and I'll send you my spectator code so I can watch. I just want you to, when the opponent does something that like causes an emotional reaction, whether it's I'm happy because I hit a sick combo, or you're annoyed because the Falco is just like the opponent's Falco is just playing like a total wiener. All you have to do is say name the emotion. Do you think you'll out loud? Do you think you'll be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Perfect. And if you find that you can't, then that's totally fine. Like, let me know and we'll revisit it. But yeah, I think we got this. So I've given you my spectator code. Just plug it into it, and perfect. Doug Walker. Let's go. I love that.
Yeah.
You always have the best names. Like I don't know how, but you always do. Oh, we got a Sheik. Excellent.
Frustrated. Very frustrated.
Okay.
That's fine.
So, like, when we're frustrated, next step is we take a deep breath. That's it.
Go.
I would have up tilt up aired
Oh, okay.
after the
Makes
back air.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to kill her. The nice thing about Sheik is that, like, all the traditionally powerful advantage states work on her. So, like, Juggle State or Edgeguard, whatever one you're, like, is more convenient in the moment, you can kind of play for that one. So don't feel limited against her. Like, her neutral's crazy, and, like, her Punisher game is crazy. Offensively, she's, like... Offensively and in neutral, she's a monster, but her defense is pretty squishy.
Mm-hmm. Frustrated again.
So take a deep breath.
Yeah. Yeah, I can go for those two.
Nice. Oh, perfect stall. Love it. We're winning this one.
Alright.
It's all good.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, though?
Not that frustrated, honestly. I'm just like you're saying, trying to take deep breaths whenever it comes about.
Will you take the strongest counter pick available? Love it. I'm assuming that means they banned Pokemon Stadium?
Yeah.
When she's above you, like high in the air, yeah, exactly. Just like attack her with the aerial, because it's okay to trade with her. Like, if your Nair hitbox, like the front of your foot, hits like the underside of her body, just go for it. You don't have to respect her, like, her free fall.
The only emotion right now is, I guess, just like focused, which I don't know if that's really an emotion, but somewhat apathetic then. Just
No, let's not. Well, apathetic. Like, I feel like after I got comboed by that Sheik, my mind is like, are you serious? Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, you think you're so cool. I guess nonplussed or unimpressed.
Yeah.
See, like, this is a skill. As we get better at doing it, like, we're kind of like tap into like what we're feeling better, and that helps us as a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Because once we named it like that, I noticed your play cleaned up a lot, because I think you're more connected to you're more connected right now. You're not like
Yeah.
wondering as much. I will send you a feelings wheel after this session, so that you have like a better vocabulary for like identifying these. But I think that this is a direction that makes a lot of sense, because it gives you like the vocabulary to like better connect with what's going on. And I think that I don't know much about schizophrenia, but I imagine like having a little more of an awareness of your state probably can only be helpful.
Right. That makes sense to me.
I'm always very grateful when I get to have these conversations. Also, you fucked him up. Good shit.
Thank you.
I'm always relieved when I get to use my psychology degree, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
That's actually like, it's English and psychology that my major is in, believe it or not.
No, that's fair. I think like most Melee players I know are all like just like STEM bros. It's really funny, honestly, how many Melee players are just in STEM. When I went to school, I was studying theology, and it's very uncommon I find other humanities majors, I feel like, in the community.
We humanities majors gotta stick together.
I agree. It's...
This is definitely a STEM chic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, this is the most STEM chic I've ever seen. Just doing all the right things, like, no regard for, like, what you're doing. STEM chic.
Yeah. Cool. Need to clean up my execution a little bit. It's not really frustrating, it's just like...
It's an observation.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel good to, like, be able to make those those little observations about yourselves without them being criticisms?
Yeah. That's
Like, I personally would find that very empowering, because I think that a lot of times you are very critical of yourself, and to realize it's not the only way that we can assess our gameplay, that's got to feel amazing.
Yeah. No, I think so.
It's awesome. I know I'm being very distracting.
No, you're good. I'm just taking a breath.
That's how I know that you're a humanities major, because, like, a STEM major, like, a STEM player would be like, well, how do I know that breath will help me? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, just trust me, dude. Like, I'm really good at this.
A little nervous, so again, just a deep breath. Oops. Oops. That's a good shred. Yep. No,
Ah,
that's fair.
We goofed.
Yeah, it just happens. And it's ranked too. It's not. I think a lot of times it's like I'll just end up spiraling off that in terms of queuing and do worse and worse because it is tilting. But I mean, I think a better way of framing it is just realize that my execution just needs to clean up a little. Especially, I struggle a lot with execution when I get nervous, like really badly. Which I know is common, but I would like to learn how to execute better under pressure.
I would say that this is probably the starting point for that, though.
Right.
Because, like, when our hands freeze up and we become tense from, like, you know, pressure, whatever, wherever it's coming from, yeah, like, that is basically, yeah, it's like the emotion is basically clogging up our mental stack. You can think of it that way. And then it's causing a physiological reactions like the tensing of hands. Sometimes people get sweaty. It's all kinds of things. So, yeah, like I would say that that would be where I would start, and then from there it's just refining as we go.
Oh, this piece is good at that.
I wonder if this is Triff. I know that he's in town now. Nah, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Trip would do that dash through. He's like just putting himself in dumb positions sometimes. And Trip, when I played him, literally would never put himself in like a bad position. It was actually so frustrating. Nice. Satisfied I hit that drift.
Oh yeah, no, the drift was crazy. Great grab.
Frustrated I messed up. That's okay. Oh, nice SDA.
Great block string. I love that
Thank you.
pressure. You notice how them feelings just kind of like go away after, like once you like acknowledge them, right?
Yeah, because I just have to move on to the next part of the game. It's gonna continue with or without me.
Oh, I thought that I was 99% sure that was gonna kill.
Yeah, I was too. I actually am very shocked.
Or you were shocked.
Yeah, true.
Easy clap. You used to not like the Peach matchup.
Yeah, I've gotten. I had to like grind it pretty hard before Triff, and I think that it made me realize like it's okay. So I just gotta find the fun in like waiting a little more. Like I just feel like against Peach, my moveset is pretty limited when she's on the ground, but I feel like I can get creative with my movement then. Like there's still room for that. It's just like I was only really thinking in terms of like I guess what moves I can do and not just like how I'm playing the game.
Honestly, like
Nice.
understanding that there's another player there is like one of the biggest, because like again, like we've kind of glossed over this before, but understanding that the other player is there and is making decisions is something that we don't really talk about enough, like when we're learning this game, which is kind of a shame. Because a lot of the floaty characters, it's not that they're like that you can just solitaire them. It's just that was a sick air dodge.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that you can just solitaire them, though. It's that their tools have limitations, but then they have the advantage of, like, a huge health bar, right? So, like, it's not, like, that's kind of what their pros and cons are. But if you don't, like, figure out how the opponent is trying to, like, use their decisions to overcome those disadvantages, you know, you don't really, like, You're not really playing the game with them. Aw. Okay, that was a little silly.
Yeah, that's funny. That's so stupid.
I like the choice to back here there. I try to come in on top of her.
Mm-hmm.
Because her back air hits below her, like it hits her butt. So like, if you go onto the side platform, you can kind of do a similar setup to what you did, but you can kind of like come on top of her, and if she starts to go low for the edge, you just shine her.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll try it out.
Does that make sense?
So, like, I would like go like that.
Yeah,
And
except
then
you're
I can shine.
yeah, except you start from the side platform.
Okay.
Because you can still like once you're above her float with a single jump, like you're in a good spot to edge guard it.
Mm-hmm.
See how little you're getting counter hit?
Yeah.
When you're going for that late back air, don't be afraid to do single hit drill into shine.
Oh, I see, instead of the back air.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or just empty land into shine.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
Oh my god, he saved you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, if they're in the umbrella, you don't do it. You don't go above, so that's the one way it can go wrong. But if they commit to umbrella, it's like you just react, kind of.
Right.
Because then you get below them again. That was clean, though.
Mm-hmm. No. This character troubles me. It's Game & Watch.
Do you want to know how to beat him?
Yeah.
Use your shield more.
Okay.
Like when he's jumping to fair into you, just shield it. Like run into him and shield. And otherwise, just do the stuff that you normally do.
Oops, I accidentally built him.
Oh, nice DI.
Thank you.
I don't know if they're up there. Oh,
I messed up. Yeah.
it's kind of like Jigglypuff.
Yeah, because he's just so light, I act so fast. Out of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
As soon as you see him go low, just grab the edge. And just like 50-50 it.
Okay. I missed this.
Yeah. It's kind of like fighting a Marth that always sweet spots, or like, yeah. It's like fighting a Marth who always does the 50-50 between like sweet spotting and like landing on stage barely, except him landing on stage is like safe for some reason. So you just treat it like that.
I could shave that. I want shine there. I think that would have hurt.
I think so too.
That's not too bad though. Why did I do that? Just grab ledge, you said.
It's because you weren't really positioned for like edge grab. You were facing off stage. Like your stance was slightly off.
Oh yeah, I just gotta be closer to ledge. Nice.
You're focusing too hard on like what we've gone over. What I would say is like take a breath, ease up, and just play normally, and just trust yourself to be able to do it if you need to. Because that's really how you implement a new strategy. It's not from like you can do like this just spam it thing, but like I don't really believe in that. I think it's more important to trust yourself to be able to do it.
Okay.
So it's like, I would say that if he dips below his double jump refresh, then that's when you grab the edge. Otherwise, like, yeah, that's the only thing to watch for. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were gonna live that from the trajectory. Jesus.
Yeah.
Whatever.
This guy is pretty good at Game & Watch, though.
Is this
feel
Glock?
like. I don't know. No, because I think Glock's code is just Glock or something.
I feel like I'm gonna have to get a... I've never, like, fought... I think I fought Glock, but I think he was playing Marth for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a Marth? I feel like if you play Game & Watch, you probably know how to play Marth.
Yeah, I know he has a Fox. And that's just Fox on my Toyota on Slippery.
Oh, yo, this is so sick. I'm getting a little antsy for the kill.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Nice recovery.
Okay.
Remember, just because you're at the point where you kill them doesn't mean that you can just, like, hit them with the kill move. They are also going to be playing to avoid that. So the way that you deal with that a lot of times is just by taking a little bit more time to open them up with, like, your hits.
Nice. That was really good.
When he comes up with fair, you can if he's coming in with fair, you can shield grab it for a long time.
Okay.
Like, it's -3 on shield if he does it, like, perfectly low, and they never do it. See what I mean?
I see. Yeah.
Matchup's a lot easier when you know that, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
We probably got one more set in us.
Gotcha.
I noticed that you're not pointing out the feelings anymore, but are you...
Oh,
No.
completely... Yeah.
But you're feeling them, though, right?
Yeah.
So that's okay. Because let's try to, like, call them out this last set. But yeah, like, if you're allowing yourself to feel them and letting them move on, that's really the more important thing to be doing.
Mhm.
So I don't want you to view this as like you failed or anything. It's just
Right.
you've just kind of jumped ahead onto the next step, which is fine.
I'm feeling satisfied with how I'm moving right now.
You look great. Like, I'm not just sweet talking at you because you're like paying me money, but like you look great.
Thank you.
No notes.
Yeah.
And you got the edge cancel. Oh my god. You're cooking this person.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay, so what would we call this feeling?
Satisfaction.
Okay. Yeah. Seems apt. All right, and then we let ourselves feel that feeling. We acknowledge we're feeling that because we don't want to like get stuck. We don't want to get like stuck in it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
'Cause-
Just clean slate.
Exactly, because like we have all made the mistake of trying to Falcon punch somebody when we shouldn't. Like,
Yeah.
So even when you were doing well, you can
Nice.
see this has an adaptive purpose.
Uh-huh.
What type of person, like, what type of psychopath switches to Sheik when you're, like, off of Fox? Like, oh wait,
Oh,
this could
no.
just be Essie.
No, this is Clover. I
Okay.
know this person there.
Sheik
I don't
main?
know what region. Fox man. I didn't know they had a Sheik. But, I think that, I kind of just got off kilter a little. I think it's fine. I just gotta, like, clean slate my emotions, because I am a little frustrated right now. So,
What
yeah,
has you
just let that
frustrated?
go. I guess what has me frustrated is just that, like, the other game went better, and now it feels like I need to, like, try harder, I guess, and, like, I can't just move around, which isn't, like, necessarily bad. It's more so frustrating me because it's like, oh, man, I, like, don't want to lose. Because, so I guess it's more, like, afraid than frustrated. now that I think about it.
Right? And I
I'm
bet,
afraid that's going worse now.
and it is. You four-stock
Yeah.
them, but like the thing is, we can't like expect our opponent to just lie down and die just because we beat them up the first game. They are a human.
Yeah.
They're allowed to make adjustments. Let us give them the respect they deserve as a competitor who is
Right.
who's at this level.
For sure.
And we
Nice
think of it
try.
that way, like that's not so bad, is it?
No.
And remember, we still have counterpick game 3, so like, even if this
Yeah.
game loses, we are not out of it. This game is not the end of the set, no matter what. Do we want to win? Absolutely.
Right.
But the reward of us winning the last game is we have this game to lose. Great recovery.
Thank you.
Alright, good later, Sheik. I have to stop
And
talking.
then he's gonna read Tekken plays. That works too. GG's.
Oh, she's alive.
Wait. Yeah, I always forget with Sheik. Not Marth. There we go.
So, with our last 3 minutes, let's debrief.
Okay.
How did it feel to recover your mindset in that last game from where it was, and then be able to like win that game?
Good. It felt satisfying as well. Like, relieving, kinda, I guess, just because like
Mm-hmm.
I've been struggling with this, and this feels like a good breakthrough. And yeah, just like I feel content that I'm content, if that makes sense. Just like I'm glad that I'm not feeling any like negative emotions or frustration. I already got them out of my system.
Yeah, you allowed yourself to feel. So then once you allowed yourself to feel, you have. So the wonderful thing about like the thing that people don't get about negative emotions, but about humans in general, is once we accept something, we own it. So the benefit of that, of ownership in this context, is that once we accept and own that like something is happening, we're able to take control of it and move on from it. But it's not until we actually like admit what's going on is what's going on. Like as long as we're like putting that distortion in there, that is what gets in the way of the improvement process.